Hello, beautiful people. Joe Corbisiero once again here with the Dream Homes team. Today I want to share with you a little bit into details how many people actually are involved in a real estate transaction. You know, it's interesting. I've been doing this for about 10 years now, more almost 11. And there's so many people involved in a real estate transaction in California. And buyers and sellers, unfortunately, don't get all the information prior to get into the transaction. So just to start with, if just think about this. Obviously, each party has a representation. That's number one. So you're going to have a real estate agent representing the seller and a real estate agent representing the buyer. Now, sometimes in California, you're allowed to do what's called a dual agency, meaning that the real estate agents will be representing buyers and sellers. So it's kind of a sticky situation. I'll be honest with you. I've done it a few times, and when I do it, I make sure that there's quite a lot of transparency out there because obviously, you have a fiduciary duty with the seller first. So, because the first step is you meet with the seller, Mr. Seller, when Mrs. Seller, when they sell their house. So, I've been talking to them, give them all the tips and recommendations on how to maximize their profit when they sell their property. Obviously, if you're a buyer, you come to me and say, hey, Joe, I want to buy a home. I prefer representing one party at a time. So, and majority of the times, what happens, I will give the lead of the person to one of my team members. With that said, so you have two agents, then you have what's called an escrow company. The escrow company is the middleman between the transaction. They collect all the paperwork, the contract at the beginning, and the funds as well. So obviously, when you put your deposit, it goes through escrow. It doesn't go in anybody's account, just to the escrow company, and it stays there until the end, until when the actual mortgage company is going to fund the loan, and eventually you close, and the title is going to be transferred. Now, there's another party. The other party is the title company. What does the title company do? You most likely just going to talk once with the title officer during the transaction. When I represent the buyers, I recommend to have a three-way call with the title officer so the title officer can explain if there is it could be any encumbrances on the property, it could be any issues pertaining to the property, let's say per se. Obviously, you're paying for an insurance, so a title insurance. So if there's any clouds along the way afterwards, you close escrow, you're protected because you have a title insurance. So that's another party. Then you obviously have a TC, what's called a transaction coordinator. Majority of the agents like myself, we're really busy and we prefer to pay somebody to actually be preparing all the paperwork on my behalf and selling it to my clients. That could be the sellers or the buyers. The TC transaction coordinators, they're actually licensed real estate agent that they love doing paperwork. They're very patient. They're willing to share and be there at any given time when you have any questions in regards to the contract. You might think, why would I have a real estate agent then? Well, the thing is, we as a real estate agent, obviously, we do help the transaction coordinator to move forward during the transaction. At one point, obviously, when you're into the transaction, there is some contingency period. That's when the real estate agent steps in and negotiates on your behalf or writes what's called a request for repairs. That's what it's called the agent's visual inspection disclosure. So all this disclosure is really important, and the real estate agent has to do it. Moving forward, then you have a lender. What's a lender? It could be a bank, it could be a mortgage professional, it could be a direct lender, meaning that directly work with the lending institution, or a mortgage broker, which is another middleman. So these are the people that will be giving you the mortgage. Now, on top of it, you're going to be talking to most likely what's called a home warranty representative. The home warranty, we always recommend, and actually in the contract in California, they're required, or you have to check the box to opt out, but I always recommend all my buyers to get what's called a home warranty. So that will be another person you've been talking to, what's covered in the home warranty or whatnot. Then in the transaction, you're going to have to talk to your insurance agent for your home insurance. That's another person is going to be involved in the transaction. Then if you have flood insurance, that will be most likely another insurance company, another insurance agent. Then you're going to have involved, but that's pretty much it at this point. There's already a lot of people like you can think of. Then, to facilitate, at times you have lawyers involved as well to look again at the paperwork. I don't recommend you to do so. Other states, you don't have the escrow company, you just have the attorneys to take care of it. So, just so you know, there's like several people involved in the transaction. My recommendation, as a majority of all my videos, is before you enter into a contract, sit down with a real estate professional first, which is going to explain to you a little bit about how many people are going to be involved in the transaction, who does what, and give you pamphlets so you understand what entails to buy a home. Thank you so much once again to watch this video. My name is Joe Corbisiero, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.